can't even do anything with it because all you can do is just give it hang time, and you can't really even do nothing but braids or a braid or just throw it up in a bun because you cannot do anything with it. At some point, it becomes just too long, and there are women who actually report having migraines because their hair is just so long. Unless this is part of your religion or something that's between you and God, like I would not want like Samson, like I would not want very very long hair. Personally, I wouldn't. Like my goal short term would just be getting it to shoulder length. What I would really really want is bra strap length. That's good enough. I don't need hair down to my butt. I don't want all that. Really, because it's a lot to maintain. Hello everyone, this is me the next morning. Wow, you got here early. Sorry, it's somebody else. One of the other students. Some of the high school students are back. I need to clean this car. So there's spider webs in it. Sorry, back to the point. Any person who does a lot of the, or any of the, this spirit of this and the spirit of that and everything as a spirit and the you know, the ocean spirits and the octopus spirit and the tree spirits and all the, you know, that type of thing, they're really just feeding you to the devil because what they're doing, it's one thing to know and understand the tricks of the devil. It's another thing to be fearful, which is actually showing a sign of respect. Or to what's the words I'm looking for? To, and I'm tired as well, so the words aren't going to come very quickly. Not obsess, but be consumed by demonology and all of these. You do not need to know every demon. What their name is, what their type is, what their race is, what their rank is, what their, like, serial number is. Like, if you are a Christian and you come up against, now I do believe, before I say that certain Christians will get at certain types of attacks more. Not that Satan won't try to do something to every Christian or tempt every Christian. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying certain types of attacks where it's very spiritual, that you can tell there is a spirit involved in this. And it's always a certain, like, whenever I whenever I talk about the scriptures, particularly at night, particularly when I have a night where I cannot sleep and I have to get up, and I'm usually making a spiritual video, I can feel it. There's something that doesn't want me to talk about it. Just like when God is starting to take me in a different direction in my life, some type of bullshit spiritually pops off, and it's usually narcissistic smear campaigns, because all smear campaigns are narcissistic. Smear campaigns, lots of lying, lots of personal attacks from people who claim they're family. Things in my personal life will get worse, and I'll feel more alone, or I will lose friends, or not so like acquaintances, things that was normal routine, and it will usually be out of the blue. Like, I can't even understand why that happened, and that's usually when God is taking me higher, to a different place spiritually or physically, or just a different level where you cannot have these interactions, this YouTube channel, this whatever this cannot come with you here. And like I said, the smear campaigns, stalking, a lot of that, and I've noticed that as I've aged, and I've not been obsessed or consumed with the woe is me of it all, but or how horrible that person is, or that person didn't have the right. Like, when I just looked past the person and looked at the pattern, it always would come when it was time, when God had really just spoken to me about, it's time to let this go. You need to stop doing that. Whatever, right? You need to leave, whatever it is. And there's one thing in me knowing and understanding that, and I don't care what demon is behind it. And I have had situations where this person talking right now is not the person. This is an entity behind this. I've literally have situations where I couldn't even hear the words that were coming out of that person's mouth. Like, I couldn't hear it. And it wasn't because I'm deaf or I didn't want to hear it. Literally, it was like God just shut the sound off. And it wasn't even like traumatic. God just shut the sound off. Like, you don't need to hear that. I don't care the name of the demon behind it. I don't care of the name of the demon that was behind whatever stalking that I went through for 7 years. I don't care what the demon was behind. I don't care. I don't need to know the name. I don't need to know the rank of them. That's when you're getting into something else. It's not an understanding. And when I understand now at this point, it's more, oh, it's this time again, God. You're taking me somewhere else. Versus, let's obsess about what entity this is and how bad they are. And no, it's God just doesn't. And usually, God was teaching me that I did not need to be fighting the battle or going back and forth or any of that. That just be still. And that's what I did this last time. I did a little bit of back and forth, but not in the sense of me trying to defend myself. There was nothing to defend because I didn't do anything wrong. That group was just embarrassed because their bigotry was found out, their heinous criminal behavior was that whole thing. Their sexual depravity. So, and how miserable they are, and how much their life doesn't have a whole lot of meaning. So, why would I make an emotional video or emotional post or an emotional anything? Emotional outcry. When this, and I'm able to recognize it now, this has nothing to even do with me versus a person. Someone is mad, and I don't care who it is. The devil is mad that I'm not going to sit in the same spot that I was for years. And that I choose not to be miserable. And that I choose not to be in the muck and the mire. And I choose to just have some type of freedom in my life. And to follow the voice of God. That upsets the devil the most. So, more than me having freedom in my life. It doesn't care about that. But the devil was trying to provoke the old me that I just didn't need to bring out, and is gone. And silence, and me just speaking facts, me exposing the truth, was bothersome enough. Spiritual situations, which I'm at a beauty school where it is very small town setup, very cliquish, very not very inviting, and spiritually, and I realized that this is not, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and that's one of my things where at some point it doesn't even matter what it is. Sorry. But and there has been a girl, because that's exactly what she is like 21, and she has been very much antagonistic for no reason, attacking for no reason, and there was a situation where she was starting in again, and I was doing, because we have our daily sanitations, and the only thing I felt, I didn't say anything, I didn't have a reaction, I didn't have even a facial reaction, a facial expression. They were trying to take over my job at desk, which I didn't want to do, and wasn't good at, and don't care, and I'd never want to do it again. But I guess if you hit a certain amount of hours, you have to do it. But whatever. Trying to take over my job, and being treated, it's very hard for me to be treated like I'm a 4-year-old child by people who just got started in life. And I chalk a lot of it up to just being in a small town. And apparently this town school system is known for bullying. The school is known for picking favorites. Things of that nature. So it's very hard for me to not say anything when my intelligence and myself is just degraded, I guess the word would be, and condescended. I don't know. The only thing I felt was anger. And I didn't say anything, didn't do anything. She immediately says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it." She apologized for what she was doing, even though I hadn't said anything. And it surprised even me. Like, that whole interaction, just after I felt anger about it. And again, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. Had no reaction. Was something either scared her, or something did something, and it just put a kibosh to the whole thing. And it surprised even me. So that's when I realized this is just spiritual. This is not